We don't need any nukes, but we are dealing with the Cold War in today's recipe, entitled The Cold War.
This episode sponsored by Stefan, Joseph, Linda, Ray, and Amy, and many others. Thanks for supporting the show. You can show your support by donating at everydaydrinkers.com/donate.
Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schomer. Today, we're going to create the Cold War all over again. This recipe is submitted by Trav7871, and it includes 4 ingredients. Jagermeister, Red Bull, vodka, sour mix. Done. Now, his recipe was much bigger in size. I didn't want to go crazy, but I usually do anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen here. But I reduced the ingredients down. Rather than the 12 ounces called for of Red Bull, I don't even have 12 ounces. I have 8.4 ounces, it says right here. So, and I also have a recipe to do later that also has Red Bull, so my goal is to use like 4 ounces or something like that. So I reduced the other ingredients so that it wouldn't be way out of proportion. So we're going to do, let's see, what do I got here? Oh, Cirque, vodka. People have been asking. We need some more Cirque recipes, so this is now a Cirque recipe. That's how easy it is. That's what I'm saying. Use your favorite vodka. Don't wait for me to do it, but I'm doing it. So we're going to do 1/2 ounce of
We
vodka.
happen to have a lot of vodka. We happen to have a lot of everything, but vodka and tequila, I think, are the biggest.
We have a lot, yes. And I try to shuffle through the brands, but some get left by the side, and that's just not cool. We also haven't used Jaeger in a while. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce. So if you want to do his original recipe, you're looking more like doubling. Excuse me for a second while I clean up my mess.
And Jaeger doesn't need to be put in the refrigerator.
Yes, we've had some trolls that's been yelling at me about how I misuse Jaeger, and it has to always be put in the refrigerator. And if you don't put it in the refrigerator, then its aromas deteriorate. So, being who I am, well hooked up, I just ask them.
Seriously?
Yeah.
In your mind.
Well, I have a lot of contacts with people, so I sent an email over to the Jaeger folk, and they're like, no, that's ridiculous. They do encourage it to be served chilled. That's how they market it, as a chilled beverage, but it could be warm and then brought to chill. So you don't have to put it in the freezer or refrigerator if that's not... Whoa, that was cool. If that's not your thing. There was something else I was going to say, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, so the sour mix is really to taste. I like to taste about 1 ounce. I'm not a big to taste type of person, so that's just what I'm going to do. So you'd really do, his recipe had 12 ounces and then like 2 ounces of Jaeger, no, 1.5 ounces of Jaeger, and then 1 ounce of vodka, so you could do the math the rest of the way, which is, I think I just did it all for you. So we're going to do 4 ounces. The trick to this drink is it's shaken with... I don't know if Trav is doing this just to make...
No, I think you shook Red Bull before. I
Yeah.
don't think it's carbonated enough to really do anything.
It's not going to explode on you. It may. But you know what? If I could pull it off and it doesn't explode on me, then I think you're safe. Of course, I could be completely wrong. That's a lot of drink.
I know.
If you... Trav7871, you're insane. 12 ounces of Red Bull with all this stuff, that's a huge glass of Red Bull. That's like, I don't even know how many calories, but this is serving. That would be at least probably, without the ingredients, the other stuff, you're still at about 180 probably calories. This is 110 right here, that little ball.
Well, that's not that bad. That's an awful lot of drink. You probably have like...
You'd have caffeine shakes and you'd be getting some downing.
We gotta have at least... for 12 ounces and then the rest of the stuff, at least 6 drinks there.
Yeah, and that's more than I need. I'm not even going to drink it all anyway. Like I've told people, we just toss everything down the drain when we're done. So yeah, there is still a lot of drink in here. Yeah.
Why don't you hit it?
Huh? Yeah, so that's a problem. I'm just gonna call that shaken.
Just stir it.
Hold on. I would stir it or shake it in smaller quantities.
Or
There's just
put your thing on the right way.
I did. It's just it collapses immediately. There's just so much volume in there that there's no place for it to go. So if you had like a half of this size drink, you'd probably be a lot safer. And I'm using fresh ice for those that have seen my recently posted why you pour cold beverage over fresh ice episode I did last Saturday. About 5 minutes ago. So, looks like, first thing that came to mind for me was ginger beer.
Really? Iced tea?
It's kind of cloudy, though.
Not from back here.
Oh. You're right. It's got your classic Red Bull smell. Oh, this is really tasty. I find that you add alcohol to Red Bull, which is obviously not supported
And
by...
it makes it so you can actually drink it. Because
Yeah.
I hate Red Bull.
I'm not... It's just... I have had a couple Red Bull sugar-frees on the way home from some traveling on the car, like when we come back from Providence and stuff. It's kind of late. I want to be able to stay awake. But that's really what the purpose... Like, my purpose is to stay awake. I guess that's why you always drink it. But it was a utility. I wasn't drinking it for the taste.
I don't know who drinks it for the taste. Maybe that could be your question of the day.
Have I asked that before?
Who drinks Red Bull for taste?
That's a good question. I'll go with that. Question of the day. Do you drink Red Bull for the taste? Or is it for the utility of what it brings to the table otherwise?
Caffeine. I.e.
Yeah. Lots of caffeine. Sugar, 27 grams. Lightly carbonated. So that's the trick with why it would probably be shaken if it wasn't. That might have happened regardless of how much, if there was a lot of carbonation in there anyway, because it was just so full. Maybe not. Improves performance, especially during times of
what does
increased
it
stress.
taste like? You don't need to read the Red Bull can.
But I've never increased performance.
It's caffeine. Until you come down from your caffeine high, and then it's decreased performance.
It tastes like a Red Bull with a bit of licorice. Maybe not. Yeah, black licorice finish. Boom. That's a Jaeger right there. The Syrup is completely lost, I think, personally. Even the sour mix. The sour mix and Red Bull already kind of have a synergy. It's kind of got that soury flavor to it to begin with, and that citrus flavor. So the sour mix probably makes it a little more natural. There's a little extra like particles because it's fresh sour mix. So I think it would be lacking if it wasn't there. It might taste a little too much like Red Bull and less like a cocktail. So I think the sour mix is needed, even though I can't really call it out as an ingredient. But I'm going Red Bull with a little flavor of Jaeger. Obviously, those two have been combined in many drinks. This is going to be a little more light and refreshing than Jaeger and Red Bull combined, which is like carbonated Jaeger to me. So there you go. That is the Cold War. We did our question of the day. So the only thing I have to say is everydaydrinkers.tv. We're teaching you how to drink.